Hello everyone, today we have a new arrival from Texas Instruments. We have the datasheet, so we're gonna create the validation plan, the entire workflow to execute the test on the bench and see the final report of the validation. So I will log into my account and start attaching the datasheet to create first the validation plan. I need to create the validation plan of the device under test attached. The validation plan is very important. It's better to plan your test before you start writing the code or creating anything to make sure you have 100% coverage of all scenarios that your device may use or face in the real life. I have here configured 4 instruments: the function generator, a power supply, oscilloscope, and a dynamic load. I believe those are the most important instruments I need to do any test for this device. If I need to add more instruments, I can add it from here. Cool. So now I have 10 tests. These are the specific parameters, the operating coverage, and the tests. For each test, I need to know the instruments. It knows the instruments I have on the bench, so it's gonna use them. The setup, the connection, the procedures, the criteria of pass-fail, and so on. So let's create the workflow for the startup and enable timing test. Create the workflow for a startup and enable timing test. The second thing you have to create after the validation plan, the plan gives you the full view of the entire validation campaign. But for each workflow, you need to know the flow chart, how this test is gonna happen. I see here the flow chart. It will start by the power supply to select the channel, set the voltage, the current limit, and to turn it on. Then it will control the dynamic load to select the channel, the mode, the current low, the current high, and also turn it on. The function generator, the oscilloscope, and again the function generator with a delay, then the oscilloscope to do some measure delay, the measurements, and capture the image. I don't feel I have to change anything in this test. I can go directly to execute it. So I will open the workflow from the bench PC to start the execution directly. I'm quite confident this is gonna work fine. I don't have to do any change. I see the flowchart is perfect and follows the validation plan. I have no schematic here. I need to know it. Create the schematic for this test. Okay, so now I have the wiring diagram I have to do on the bench first, then I can execute it. The dynamic load connected to the output, the power supply, function generator, and oscilloscope connected to different pins to do the measurements. So total I have 7 wires. I have to do them before I start the execution. Let's do that. Now we have the validation plan, the flow chart of the test, the wiring diagram, and also the workflow, which is the code we have to execute. Now on the bench, I will execute the test to get the final data and report.
Once I have connected all the wires, let's execute this test. So I will keep the test running and come back after the test completion. So now after the test completion, I can see the log and also the final report got generated here. Let's see it. Yes, looks fine. We have to debug it later. And the history to open the data file. Here, open the test file. Under the output subdirectory, I see the execution, and here all the oscilloscope screen capture, the data CSV file, the log file, and the report saved locally to my PC. So that's it. Thanks for watching.